Welcome, guys. Monday morning walkthrough. Um, this is a segment that I call the walkthrough because I'm here doing my walk that I do every morning. And what a better way to combine two things that I like: 49ers and walking. So, the game yesterday. Overall, I'm very pleased with the game. Overall, good win. Purdy, I want to say he kind of shook Dak Prescott off his shoulders. So I think now there's maybe like two good candidates for the MVP race: Purdy and maybe Lamar, and I want to say McCaffrey. And let's start with the offensive side of things. Being 7 down, it's nothing. It's just a part of the game. It was the start of the game. No rhythm or nothing had been set. So it takes a little bit of time to get into things. So the first drive that the 49ers had was fairly efficient, very good. And I think it was a tone setter for what we were going to see from the offense the rest of the game. And when the 49ers can set the tone very early on the offense, you know it's going to be a huge scoring game. Even if we don't get it in our rhythm and get a flowing game the first quarter, as long as we can get the second quarter to flow, we're fairly good. But yesterday, we got a good rhythm going from the first series. And I think we saw throughout the whole game that the connection between Debo, Purdy, Debo, McCaffrey, Debo, Kittle, and Debo and Ayuk is going to be lethal. It's like poison to people. And when the O-line can protect Purdy, oh lordy, look out. Purdy had a massive game yesterday. Maybe not his best game, but he was efficient as heck. I don't think there is another team. I haven't checked stats, but I don't think there's another team in the NFL right now that are this efficient on offense. I mean, 45 points, season high, and we have been so often over 30. Most games are over 30. We have a few games that are under 30, and we have a lot of games over 40. So we are a high scoring caliber team on offense. And when the defense can give you a touchdown as well, oh, look out. Totally different. So what we saw yesterday from the offense is something we have seen more or less the whole season. The only thing that is a little bit on the offense that you can maybe question mark when you meet better teams is the O-line. But I think that's the only weakness we have on offense. But yesterday, it worked kind of good. It was kind of good yesterday. No big let-throughs through there to disturb Brock. He had some pressures, he had some hits, yes. But you will always have that. No game is going to be perfect. Not on offense, not on defense. So you always have a few things going against you. Looking at the special teams that was in action yesterday. Special teams are maybe not right now a little bit vulnerable because we lost one or two players there, and we lost the best one. Bell was lucky yesterday. I think that ruling was questionable. I don't know if his arm was down before the ball came loose. It was very close. I think the the refs gave us that one. I think. I think the ball started to come out before he went down with his forearm. Ooh. But throughout a season, it kind of evens out. Sometimes you get calls that goes against you, and sometimes you get calls that goes with you. So I think that was what happened yesterday. Would it have changed the outcome at the end of the game? Probably not. Most likely not. We would have won that game anyway. The only thing I had a little bit of issues with yesterday was the run defense. The passing defense was, I'll give them a passing grade on that. The passing defense was okay. We had 2 interceptions by Ward. One was a pick 6. Good for him. But the run defense was not great yesterday. And is that because we didn't have Hargrave and Armstead? Possibly. Most likely. But we also looked a little bit soft in coverage and in tackling, especially in tackling. And we've seen that before. We have games in between here and there where it's almost like the defense is like mentally not there. They're there, but they're not there, if you understand what I mean. Their pressure is soft. Their tackling is not dialed in. It's kind of soft. It's kind of off rhythm. It's off timing. I think I know why this happened yesterday. One, we missed 2 very good players in the middle that normally are, like pillars in the run game. So of course, that might do a lot of it. But I think something was roaming around in their head. And what was roaming around in their head was, this is the freaking Cardinals. And we have a bigger game coming next week. So we're not going to engage in heavy tackling, hard tackling, because we don't want to get hurt. We want to avoid injuries because of the next week's game that is coming up. And I think that's what it looked like. It looked like we're playing to avoid injuries on defense. Because they know they have Armstead and Hargrave out already. And who knows for how long. Maybe Armstead will be back next week. We don't know. Maybe Hargrave will be back next week. We don't know. Or maybe both. We don't know. So I felt like this was like, let's play an okay defensive game without too much I'm gonna F you up tacklings. I think that's what we saw yesterday. And when you do that, you get a little bit passive, you get a little bit soft, and you just chalk it up as a mind game. And when you do that, very often you're gonna run into these kind of performances. And I think we've seen it before, because both sides of the ball, both defense and offense, is like, it's like an on and off switch. And if you don't switch all the way over, you might be stuck in the middle. And I think that's where we landed yesterday. Do I expect a 200% more increase in intensity, tackling, and covering, and an overall performance next week against the Baltimore Ravens? Oh, hell yeah. Hell yeah. I think the players know what's on the stake for that game, and I think they use this game. It's like, if we can coast through, we're good. I think that's what was in their head yesterday. If we can just get through this game without any injuries, we're good to go. That was their mindset. And I think that was talked about in the players meeting. I think Kyle was totally in on it, that hey, whatever we can do to avoid more injuries on defense. Because most teams, is not built like the 49ers. The 49ers are built as a complementary team, which means the defense sets up the offense and the offense takes care of the defense. So if one of them, and there's a very, very fine balance there is. If you look at the team, when that balance is being interrupted, either on offense or defense, we have shitty games. You saw that in the 3 games where we lost. The balance of the team was kind of out of whack, and it threw the whole team off, and it took them 3 games to find out. I'm not so much hung up on the Cleveland Brown games. It was stupid, poor conditions, and the kicker missed a freaking field goal in windy rain. I don't take that to heart. The other 2 losses I have a bigger deal with, but it's the past. But you can see what I'm talking about. That we lost our balance in the team over those 2 games. Over those 3 games, well, we could have won the Cleveland game. I think it was just unfortunate set of circumstances. Poor weather. We got rattled. We didn't expect to lose that game. The players didn't. I know that. So, yes, go back to yesterday and the Cardinals game. At the end of the day, what can we take out of it? Well, we got a few injuries, so we have to look at that. Because that there will always be some, but if it's lingering or not, we don't know. It's going to take longer. Kalia Davis, I think his name was, he got hurt. He was injured. I don't know when he's going to be back, what state of his injury is. Purdy got a stinger, but he came back in the game and finished the game and looks to be okay. Bosa looks to be okay. So I want to say we came out of it unscathed. It could have been worse. It could have been way worse. Because, like everyone knows, divisional games can be nasty. There's like an attitude in those games, and sometimes the ugly comes out of it. But overall, very good game. Happy with the result. Purdy cemented himself as an elite quarterback, franchise quarterback, and absolutely a front runner for the MVP race, along with Christian McCaffrey. So I wouldn't take too much into consideration what some pundits and ex-players are saying, because they're clearly clueless. So this was a Monday morning walkthrough. I'll come back with more content later on. Take care.